Hi guys, Lindsay here with Storybook Family Farm. Today I'm feeling quite proud of myself because I was able to get Burr and Purdy's hut completely finished. And this thing cost me about $12 to build the entire thing out. And that was just for the price of a handful of 2x4s was pretty much all I had to buy to be able to construct this, which thankfully I already had the 2x4s on hand. So this thing was very, very much dirt freaking cheap. But I wanted to show you guys how it came along. So we have the metal roofing on the side right there, metal roofing on top, which is just scrap pieces that we had. And then on the inside here, I made it so that way this wall here is like 1.5, or it's half the distance of the wall. So that way they can come in from the side over there. And then they also have this open area here, which will make cleaning this area out a lot easier. And I would go inside of there, but as you guys can see, I've already moved the goats in here. So that was kind of a bit of a difficult task on its own to move them by myself in there because Wilbur, our buck, which I oftentimes call Burr, he is very much in rut right now. So he is very much full of all sorts of different types of energy. So that was very fun dragging him from his previous pasture into this one. But as I suspected, doing the fencing on the hillside here was incredibly difficult. We actually had our daughter come out yesterday to help do it, so that way we had our 17-year-old son, our 20-year-old daughter, and then me and Tracy also working on this project. Granted, we did do some other stuff too. We fenced in part of the fencing up there to make it so that way our birds no longer have access to the woods as much. So that'll be nice to keep them home more often, so we don't have to worry about them getting attacked while they're roaming, neighboring properties and things of that nature. Plus, we're very big advocates for if you have farm animals, it's really your responsibility to keep them on your own property. So we've been, steadily working on fencing our 2 acres in. So the boys, as you can see, are very happy with their new setup. They have not yet ventured all the way up to the top yet. I think that they're so shocked to have so much more space that they really don't know what to do with themselves. But Wilbur is very much having a great time of scratching in between his horns on all the different small trees and branches and things of that nature that we left in there. He also has been having a really good time on messing with the 4x4 post and the corner right there of their hut. From here you guys can see better that the one side right there is actually a partial wall. It looks really tiny actually from this perspective. But so their hut is 7 foot long and 5 foot deep. And it is about 5 foot high at the shortest area and then about 5.5 foot at the tallest area on the inside. So I still have to duck a little bit because I am about 5'6", but it makes it so it's much nicer than their previous hut because as that was, we had to actually crawl on our hands and knees to get in there. And unfortunately, that's become one of our chickens' favorite places to lay eggs is inside of their hut. So yeah, not an ideal setup to have to crawl in there with that guy's horns to attempt to collect eggs. But yeah, they are very much happy, very over the moon, very overjoyed to have a much bigger space. So for those of you wondering, their previous pasture area, which is more than adequate enough space for the two of them, they are Nigerian dwarf goats. Their previous pasture space was approximately 800 square feet. When I measured this up yesterday, which it goes up quite a ways up there, it was actually like 2,500 square feet. So this is, more than triple what they had in the past. So they are definitely living their best lives, and they are going to be very happy to be up on the hillside once the spring rains come and it starts getting really wet and muddy and mucky. Because as I've showed you guys before, their previous hut was down there, which is quite a bit downhill, so it's very wet all the time, very muddy, very mucky, which is not conducive for raising goats. So these guys are much happier. My hands are killing me. I have bruises and cuts and scrapes all over my forearms, which, doesn't look as gnarly on camera as it is in real life, but it's pretty wicked. Trying to do fencing on a hillside is hard. Trying to do fencing on a hillside with blackberry bushes everywhere is way harder. So, but, kind of anticipated that. So anyways, thanks for watching. Have a good one, guys.